It was the year 1944, and World War II was at its peak. Nations across the globe were locked in fierce battles, and the fields of Europe were drenched in blood and devastation. Among the countless stories of courage and loss from this war, one stands out as a testament to humanity's enduring spirit even amidst chaos. The characters. Jacob was a young American soldier, known for his bravery and kindness. His unit had been stationed in a remote part of France, where relentless fighting against the German forces was taking place. On the opposing side was Hans, a German soldier, recognized for his intelligence and fearless nature. Though they stood on opposite sides of the war, their hearts still held a flicker of humanity. The incident. One fateful day, Jacob's unit was ordered to capture a small village occupied by German forces. During the assault, an explosion threw Jacob into enemy territory. He was badly injured, his leg bleeding profusely, and he could barely move. His comrades, forced to retreat, left him behind. That night, as the cold wind swept through the ruins, Hans was patrolling the outskirts of the village. He heard faint groans and followed the sound cautiously, his rifle ready. As he approached, he saw Jacob lying on the ground, wounded and vulnerable. Hans had two choices: leave the enemy soldier to die or risk his own safety to help him. Hans chose the latter. He lowered his rifle and approached Jacob slowly, showing he meant no harm. Jacob, initially wary, saw the sincerity in Hans's eyes. With great effort, Hans lifted Jacob onto his shoulders and carried him to a nearby shelter, away from the battlefield. The triumph of humanity. In the quiet of the night, Hans tended to Jacob's wounds, shared his water, and gave him some of his rations. They couldn't understand each other's language, but their actions spoke louder than words. Hans conveyed through gestures that he didn't see Jacob as an enemy, but as a fellow human being. At dawn, during a temporary ceasefire, Hans carried Jacob closer to the American lines, ensuring his safety before retreating into the shadows. When Jacob's comrades found him, they were astounded that he had survived enemy territory. Jacob, however, knew it was no miracle. His life had been spared by the compassion of an enemy soldier. The aftermath. Years after the war ended, Jacob couldn't forget the man who had saved his life. He searched tirelessly for Hans and finally found him living in a quiet German village. When they reunited, they embraced as old friends, reminiscing about the night when humanity triumphed over hatred. The lesson. This story serves as a poignant reminder that even in the darkest times, acts of kindness and compassion can shine through. Jacob and Hans's tale teaches us that beyond the labels of friend or foe, we are all bound by the shared thread of humanity.